Okay, so how does a guy known for fire and fury, a prophet of, let's be honest, pretty harsh divine justice, become one of the most beloved figures in history? That's what we're digging into today, the amazing transformation of the prophet Elijah.
And our guide on this journey is this fantastic, award-winning book, Becoming Elijah, by Daniel C. Matt. It really lays out this entire incredible story. So, to really get this transformation, you got to go back to the beginning. You have to meet the original guy, and the Elijah we meet in the Bible is, well, he's intense. We're not talking about a gentle teacher here. This guy is a straight-up whirlwind of divine justice.
And when I say intense, I am not kidding. I mean, this is a prophet who goes toe-to-toe with kings, right? He challenges false gods in this huge, dramatic showdown on Mount Carmel. He calls down fire from heaven, not once, but twice, and he personally slaughters people he thinks are idolaters. He is the textbook definition of a zealot.
So, that leads us right to the big question, the really fascinating part of all this. How on earth does that guy, the fire-breathing, take-no-prisoners enforcer, turn into this beloved, compassionate hero? You know, the kind of figure people literally invite into their homes? That's the incredible mystery we're going to unpack.
All right, first up, who was this original Elijah? Let's dive a little deeper into this fierce, untamed prophet from the Bible.
You know, his whole mission is baked right into his name, Eliyahu. It literally means, Yahweh is my God. And that's not just a name, it's a declaration. It's who he is. He lives and breathes this idea, and he is absolutely enraged by all the idolatry he sees around him. His entire purpose is to bring people back to the one God.
And the Bible gives us this really raw image of him, too. It calls him a hairy man with a leather loincloth bound around his waist. So think about that. This is not some polished guy from the king's court. He's a wild man, straight out of the wilderness. Just pure, raw, untamed energy, totally separate from society.
So where does this shift happen? How does this transformation even begin? Well, it all kicks off with the bizarre and mysterious way his story on earth ends.
See, here's the thing. Unlike basically every other prophet, Elijah doesn't die. There's no deathbed scene, no grave, no last words. His exit is just as dramatic and mysterious as his life was.
He just disappears. He's swept up into the heavens in a whirlwind, riding a chariot of fire. It's this completely supernatural, totally ambiguous exit. And because it's so open-ended, it leaves the door wide open for interpretation. I mean, if he didn't actually die, could he come back? And that one question right there is the seed that grows into his entire transformation. I mean, just look at the contrast here. It's night and day. On one side, you've got the biblical Elijah, the guy who brings drought and fire, the harsh enforcer. But there on the other side, you have the later Elijah, this kind, benevolent savior, a helper of the poor. It's a total 180. He goes from being a figure of terror to a symbol of hope. And you know, this new version of Elijah, the compassionate one, is so powerful, so compelling, that his story just takes off. It spreads like wildfire, and he gets adopted and adapted into all these different faiths.
So in Jewish folklore, he becomes this kind of immortal traveler who shows up in disguise to help people out of a jam. Then you have Christianity, where he's seen as the forerunner to the Messiah, a role they connect directly to John the Baptist. And in Islam, he's often linked with this amazing immortal figure called Al-Qudr, the Green One, who guides people who are lost.
And this is what's so cool. He's not just some figure from an old book. His presence is still a living, breathing part of Jewish tradition today. At the Passover Seder, for example, a special cup of wine is poured just for him. A chair is left empty. People even open the door, hoping he'll walk in. He's still expected, still part of the story, right now.
Okay, so this all brings us to a much more personal place. What does Elijah's journey, his transformation, mean for us? And this is where we get to the idea of the Elijah within.
There's this really beautiful quote from a mystic named Moses Cordovero that just nails it. He says, "The closest that divinity can possibly come to humanity is the mystery of Elijah." What he's getting at is that Elijah becomes this bridge, right? He's the meeting point between the human and the divine, all because he's this mysterious, ever-present figure who never really left.
And that leads to this incredibly powerful idea from the book called Bebena Eliyahu. Basically, it's the idea that there's a little bit of Elijah inside every single one of us. You know that spark of righteous anger you feel when you see an injustice? That passion for what's right? That's it.
But, and this is the key, his story shows us that this fiery energy can be transformed. It doesn't have to be destructive. It can be channeled into a force for compassion.
So here's the real takeaway. Elijah's story is more than just a story. It's a blueprint. It shows us that even the most fanatical, polarized, black and white energy can be turned into its complete opposite, into empathy, into kindness, into a real desire to heal things. And in a world that feels as divided as ours does today, man, that is a powerful message of hope.
Ultimately, the story of Elijah is just this powerful testament to our own ability to change. It proves that a prophet of fire can become a beacon of hope. And so, after tracing this journey of becoming Elijah, the story kind of turns the question back on us, doesn't it? If he could transform so completely, how can we?